And welcome back to American Agenda. President Biden is about to speak at any moment on the crisis in Afghanistan, and we will, of course, bring that to you live. But right now, let's bring back in our panel to discuss a little bit more of the significance, finally, of President Biden speaking out and their lack of commenting up until this point forward.
The truth of the matter is that the Biden White House, Biden, Psaki, Harris, went on vacation and Kabul fell. They had no plan, so we have chaos and mayhem like we've never seen before, and armored cars at an airport, and now they're trying to figure out a plan B. And to reassure people that they're on top of it, they send out a doctored photo from April trying to make you think that they're on top of the situation, and they have absolutely no idea what's going on. The fact of the matter is, if you're going to withdraw, you should have done it in the winter when it's not fighting season, and you should have followed the same plan that we did when we withdrew from Iraq. And right now, the whole thing's a cluster, and Biden's going to try to blame Trump. That's really what's happening here.
Right. Yeah, which he has done. He's already issued statements trying to say that it was the previous administration's fault. But yet, for months and months, Biden and his advisor were saying things like this. As we take a look at the live camera there and wait for President Biden to come out, listen to what they were previously saying. If we can pull that up.
The drawdown is proceeding in a secure and orderly way.
If there is a significant deterioration in security, that could well happen. We've discussed this before. I don't think it's going to be something that happens from a Friday to a Monday.
Your own intelligence community has assessed that the Afghan government will likely collapse.
That is not true.
Can you please clarify what they have told you about whether that will happen or not?
That is not true. They did not reach that conclusion.
So, Bob, as they say, that definitely didn't age well.
No, a lot of things that President Biden said don't age well. I wanted to ask Bobby your thoughts about this, because it's something that I've thought about, and we've had guests also, military experts, that have said we should have kept at least a footprint in there so that this didn't happen. We had 100,000 troops at one point. We draw down to 2,500 to 3,000, and maybe the president could have sold Americans on we have pulled out troops, and 97,000 troops counts, and perhaps we needed to keep a footprint there to keep this from happening.
Right, yeah, Bob, I'm glad you asked the question, and I was hesitant to talk about it as far as a messaging standpoint, but the fact that we had 100,000 and we're down to 3,000, you could message that as this is a security force that is keeping the Taliban at bay, that is keeping America safer. There's no al-Qaeda havens there. We have a growing government. Melanie had such a great point that there are young women and girls that grew up only knowing the American presence, basically the American way of life. That's all going to be shattered. And why? Because of this hasty pullout. So there can be a solid argument made that for a small American presence, again, we lost 3,000 people in one day on 9/11. Is it worth it to have that presence there to keep Afghanistan somewhat stable and America safer?
Yeah, and now you have images coming in from CNN outside the embassy in Kabul, where members of the Taliban are shouting "Death to America." That's the images that we're seeing now as we approach the 20th anniversary of 9/11, Melanie.
And not only that, we are in so much more danger than we were yesterday. In addition to the Taliban taking over Afghanistan, the people that they have let out of the prisons, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, the people who are in charge of the Taliban, who actually took over the capital, are people who are in Gitmo. How angry do you think that they are? How badly do you think that they want to strike back at America? Our terror threat is kind of gone unnoticed by the mainstream media, but our terror threat has gone up here recently. And nobody's really talking about that either. So we not only are we philosophically more in danger, but we are literally more in danger according to the government.
Yeah, and Heather, think about this. Think about China, which is trying to ensure Taliban's safety. So they're not trying to fight them. They're trying to work with them. Kind of clever, right? It's nothing the Soviet Union or we did. Now, what if China said to the terrorists there, you want to go after America? We're pretty sure we could take out their electrical grid for a while. What if Russia, who has said they have no problem with them in the Middle Eastern area, what if Russia said, yeah, we're pretty sure we could take out some of their oil capacity? What happens when we get attacked next time and it's not just a stolen plane or a handful of stolen planes?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's already happening. And I think that when we were discussing earlier that what President Biden needs to do when he comes out and addresses the nation and the world is to have a show of strength, because I think that was a key that has been missing in the Biden administration thus far. And you have people like China, you have people like Russia, North Korea, and Iran not recognizing or thinking that there will be any real ramifications for any actions that they take, any words that they say. They've seen this happen over and over again already with the Biden administration. So I think that will be a key moving forward. But the other thing that I did want to talk a little bit more about as we continue, actually, we only have a couple minutes left, but I was seeing here that apparently just a couple minutes ago they were saying 10 minutes until the president comes out. So just a reminder that everyone, we continue to watch that. But I was going to bring up the fact that this increase in threat assessment with the DHS on Friday coming out and saying, you know, some of the very real threats that this country faces are from those of us that question, you know, vaccines or question restrictions and lockdowns and question election integrity, instead of keeping their eye on what was happening there in Afghanistan.
Yeah, I think you're right, Heather. I think that they have not taken this seriously. And remember, Robert Gates, former defense secretary for President Obama, at the same time that Joe Biden was vice president, said he's been wrong on every single national security issue over the past 40 years.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that can't be ignored. It's unfortunate.
Well,
all right. We've got to leave it there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bobby. Sorry, Melanie. Sorry, Ford. We could keep talking about this. We await the president's appearance. Thank you so much for being part of our panel today.